Well, joining me now, as is always the case on a Wednesday night on Credlin, is Sky News Wordsmith and my old friend from 2GB, Kel Richards. Kel, great to see you again, my friend.
G'day, Steve. Lovely to see you again, mate.
Why don't we start with a term that's used a lot in the media these days, particularly in relation to things like the upcoming misinformation, disinformation bill, and that's the word Orwellian. Are we using that in the correct way?
We are. It was actually a Credlin viewer who sent me an email saying she kept coming across this word Orwellian and said, where does it come from? Now, you know, Steve, it comes from the name of the great George Orwell, the writer, brilliant writer. And he died beginning of 1950, and within 6 months, this adjective had been born because what he did was he wrote that great novel about a totalitarian government called 1984. So every time governments do something which is a bit totalitarian, we think, Orwellian. He invented Big Brother is watching you, constant surveillance of the citizens. Well, everything you do on social media is under surveillance these days. He invented the Ministry of Truth, which was actually the Ministry of Lies, or it would be called the Ministry of Misinformation these days, and fed information into news media and education. He invented the thought police, who punish thought crimes, and that's exactly what cancel culture is. So, a clever man. Steve, all those years ago, he saw all of this coming. It's just amazing.
Obviously a genius, and the things that he wrote in 1984, we're living in 1984 right now. Let's turn to the Prime Minister. He accused the opposition today of spreading red herrings. Now, Kel, this intrigues me. What exactly? Well, it's a fish, I know, but how did that term come about to describe something that was perhaps not right or not true?
It actually comes from the old sport of riding to hounds. So if you were riding to hounds, the pack of hounds, were following the scent of the fox. And they've always been hunt disruptors who wanted to stop the gentry enjoying their days on horseback and so on. So what they did was they would drag a very smelly old fish, a red herring, across the trail, covering up the scent of the fox, so the hounds would lose the scent of the fox. So it's meant to be, a red herring is meant to be a misdirection. If you're misdirecting people, if you're telling them to look at another direction, don't look at this, that is a red herring.
Oh, that's fantastic, Kel. Now, debanking. I don't think I've ever written or spoken that word until right now, not in any of the big dictionaries. It's a word that some banks appear to be using on their customers whose politics they disagree with. Is that right?
Exactly. And as you say, Steve, it is a brand new word. It actually was, I was a bit surprised when I did some research and discovered that it was coined in June of 2021. Would have thought it was even more recent than that. And as you said, none of the dictionaries have got it in there at the moment, but the Collins Dictionary have got it in their sort of waiting queue as a new word that may end up in the big dictionary. Debanking means a bank cancels your bank account because they don't like your politics. Now, it's famously happened to Nigel Farage, but it's happened to a whole bunch of people, as a matter of fact. So let me warn you, if you're banking with a big bank that is telling you to vote yes in the referendum and you want to vote no, when you walk into the bank, be very careful what you say.
Jeff in Oatley in New South Wales, he wants us to tell him why leftist political views are often described as being progressive.
It's interesting. The word came into English from Middle French. The French word is progressif or something like that. Pardon my pronunciation, I can't do French. And all it means is moving forward. Now, the reason why it's been adopted by all the people who want change on the left side is their mental image is that we're all on a road, so forward is really clear. It's obvious. But people who see the messy, untidy world of human life around us think, no, we're in the middle of a paddock and north, south, east or west might be forward. So that's what's wrong with progressive as a political label. It's a kind of cocky certainty that really throws us.
Kel, your word segment with Peter Credlin every Wednesday night is just a no-brainer. I absolutely watch it religiously, and it's very nice to catch up with you.